Talking of Kai Havertz, what did you make of his performance? Again, I mean, maybe in the first half he had quite a good game, but second half, and I know they did go down to 10, but I didn't really notice much about what he was actually on the pitch for, to be honest.
It's a difficult one because it depends on how you're judging him. So if you judge Kai Havertz as a forward player, then you're going to say, well, he didn't score a goal, he didn't create much. These are the things that you're going to mark him on, and unfortunately he doesn't meet them. But he got 89%, he completed 89% of his passes, had a shot from inside the box, created a great chance, won 4 out of 6 of his aerial duels, 3 ball recoveries, and I thought he helped kill the game when Arsenal dropped down to 10 men by moving up front in the end. If you're judging him as a midfield player, he had a good game. But we got to work out what Kai Havertz is. And if we identify him as a midfield player, then the parameters by which we judge him are different. And I think that's the problem that he's going to have now, because he's kind of being labelled as a kind of jack of all trades, master of none. You don't really know where to look in terms of how to figure out if he played well or not.
I still think there were just moments where he seemed like he was still getting used to the system a bit. So, as you say, we're only 2 games in, so we'll see how he does as well. I love the stats there, mate. Harry Stats Symeou
on hand
alongside me. Next to Havertz, obviously in midfield, was Declan Rice. So let's hear from Arteta now. He was asked about how impressed he was with his new signing.
Hopefully we saw a little bit, but I think it was great. I think he was boss in midfield. I think he dominated the game. He was very influential, both attacking and defending. And he has started to grow. Today he played in a different position than last week because what we expected from Palace and what we needed there, and I think he was really good.
There you go. Mikel Arteta's happy with him. Are you happy with him, Harry? He seems to have a pretty good game.
Yeah, I thought in pre-season and during the Community Shield he was a little bit within himself. Probably because, as we've mentioned with Kai Havertz, still getting used to the system, playing as a 6 at times, playing as an 8 at times. Obviously, Arsenal playing a very different way to West Ham United. The demands of Declan Rice are very different now to what they were 6 months ago. But I thought yesterday was the first real glimpse we got of the real Declan Rice.
Yeah. Playing
in a deeper midfield position, using his physicality to help us defensively and shore things up. Also being able to break forward and support as well. I thought Mikel got it spot on. He bossed the midfield and he was a key part as to why Arsenal left with all 3 points.
Yeah, let's hear from Arteta again. Actually, he was also talking about Eddie Nketiah, who won the penalty, of course, as well. But he was really impressed with his performance as well. Here he is speaking to talkSPORT about him.
Yeah, he was really disappointed because normally the 2 huge chances that he had, he puts them away. He didn't tonight, but this is Eddie. Then he played with a knife in the teeth and said, I'm not going to stay now disappointed with my head down. I'm going to win the game for the team, and he has the right to take that penalty and win the game.
Now, the Nottingham Forest game saw Havertz in that role. Last night we saw Nketiah in that role. What do you think it should be going forward? Did you prefer Nketiah in that role to Kai Havertz?
Yeah, Nketiah played against Forest and scored as well. So he earned the right to continue as one of Arsenal's attackers. Obviously, in Jesus' absence, that's the natural replacement. And I thought he was really effective last night. Missed a couple of chances in the first half. I thought he was really unlucky with the first one because I thought the way he took the ball on, created half a yard, opened up his body and sort of sent it towards the far corner. He was desperately unlucky not to score. Second one, I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know how you can get the ball up and down from the edge of the 6-yard box if you're trying to chip someone.
Mate, unless you're Alexander Isak, then don't bother.
Yeah, Alexander Isak would probably do it. But look, his runs were effective. It was his quick thinking to make the run and peel off his man that led to Arsenal winning the penalty kick. At the end of the day, he's had a big say in the outcome, so he deserves to continue in that position.
Yeah, I thought he played very well indeed. We're all in agreement, aren't we, that was never a red card, by the way?
Oh, I cannot believe that this is the standard of officiating in what is supposed to be the best league in the world. It's getting worse and worse. And VAR, as much as I was for it, is making a mockery of itself because it's there, use it. It's there supposedly to correct clear and obvious errors. I've said it all along. Why is it that they can correct a red card, but they can't check a second yellow card? The outcome is the same. The outcome is the same, therefore it's still a game-changing decision. Tomiyasu, first of all, isn't even the one time wasting when he picks up the first yellow card.
Yeah, it was Havertz.
It was
Havertz
for
15 seconds.
Yeah, he had it for 8, Tomiyasu. Yeah. And if you watch it back again, which I've done and I shouldn't have done because it's wound me up even more. You watch Tomiyasu generally like looking left and right, trying to find an option to release the ball. Anyway, he gets booked. The second one, though, I mean, you could see from a mile off that he didn't pull a shirt. You could see it. Like, there was no pull. It was a little tap on the back. Ayew's gone down. And I said to you off air as well, 2 minutes later, Kai Havertz pulls a shirt really blatantly. And I'm sitting there saying, go on then, book him.
What about
our own player? Our own player, because I want to see consistency. And Mikel Arteta was a little bit prickly after the game because of that. And he has every right to be. That was a ludicrous decision. And because it was a second yellow card, there's no chance of it being overturned.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. And I think it's like you say, there just seems to be no common sense with it. No common sense at all.
Literally zero.
Like you say, it's a clear and obvious error. That is literally meant to be, the hallmark of what VAR is. And yet they don't overturn that. And Arsenal, I think, actually did a very good job. I mean, I know it's only the second game of the season, but, we don't know what's going to come next for Arsenal this season. We're hoping, well, for your sake, that they'll go on to be title contenders. But, that could be a massive 3 points coming in.
Huge. Roy Hodgson hasn't been beaten at Selhurst Park since he returned as manager up until yesterday. So it was a difficult place to go. We mentioned earlier the atmosphere was incredible. Palace, not the greatest side in the league, obviously, but they're a physical side. They make life difficult. And to get out of there with all 3 points, having not been even at 60% in terms of what Arsenal are capable of, I think is obviously a big positive.